Well, I don't have a whole lot of time. Y'all know I just pop in and I slide out. What up, Elizabeth? Good to see you. What's up to the other 654 3 2 1 people that are in the chat this morning? It's Friday the 13th. And so far, this whole month has been Friday the 13th. I just wanted to check in, make sure y'all doing all right. Make sure y'all seeing what new distractions they coming up with. Happy Friday indeed. I hope y'all had a level head during this season because there are distractions after distractions after distractions. There's going to be even more distractions as some information starts to go out. What up, Mariah? It's crazy. Uh, this baby formula stuff. What up, Miss Demeter Joe? It's been a long time. This baby formula stuff. This stock market stuff, which I've been profiting off of. I told y'all to get your heads into to books to learn about the stock market. Get a mentor. If you on my IG, you've been seeing my posts. You've been seeing me talk about getting a mentor, learning how to profit off of this nonsense. Because we had a point where we can't just sit around and talk about what might be happening, what they're probably doing. We need to be capitalizing off the nonsense. We can't just be sitting around talking. My IG is same as my YouTube, so true Q. So I flipped a call up a put option, banking that everything was going to go down over 2 weeks ago. It was printing. But that's besides the point. We're not here to talk about what I'm doing. We're here to talk about what they doing. Y'all. Do y'all know what just came out? Regardless of who you voted for, this isn't an opportunity to bash or congratulate or to say anybody's a part of the problem. I'm going to tell y'all what just came out. They just came out with a documentary showing over 400 million data points exposing and video evidence exposing the fraud with our last selection. I don't know that anything's going to be done about it, to be honest. But they have all the evidence in the world. That's just one thing they're distracting us from. Also, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Buddy, she just dropped names. Her sentence just got dropped to a lower sentence, and there ain't no outrage. This lady is on record admitting to doing what she did to children and adolescents. But meanwhile, we worried about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and Amber taking dumps in his bed. We worried about some journalists getting killed in Israel. Like they are bombarding us with distraction. Y'all gotta understand that media is one arm of the control system, one of the strongest arms of the control system. I sat up and working. They had the news on 24/7. So even when you ain't listening to it, you're hearing it. Like if you ain't paying attention to it, you're actually hearing it. Folks, y'all remember about a couple months back, Bread and Circuit. Y'all remember a couple months back? I just want to make sure y'all remember the people that were here. So Miss Demeter Joe, you always tune in. The Almighty Om, if you're in here, you always tune in. Do y'all remember? I want to ask this question. And mind you, this don't make me special. If you're paying attention, you you already know this stuff. This ain't got nothing to do with being smart, nothing to do with being an oracle or predicting stuff. I just want to make sure I'm on record having somebody remember when I said inflation will get worse and there will be a food shortage. I said those two things, and before I talk any more about it, I want to make sure there was at least one person that heard. Absolutely. Does anybody remember me saying, hey, Y'all need to start thinking about getting in the garden and learn how to produce your own food. We got food shortages coming. And do y'all know that they got plants burning up and blowing up in record number? Food processing plants burning up and blowing up in record number. Did y'all know that? Record number. In record numbers. That's not normal. You looking at a firefighter. All right? The odds of one industry getting specifically targeted nationwide the same way through fire and explosions, that's just not normal. That's not normal. They're creating a situation. They're creating the conditions, the perfect conditions. The grand solar minimum. I'm gonna screenshot this. I will. So, nobody remembers me saying that? Or maybe we just got people that weren't tuned in. I'm not gonna comb back my lives to go find when I said it, but it was said. So now we're all stuck with an opportunity. We're all stuck with a question. What are we gonna do about it? What are you doing about it? I'm gonna tell you some last ditch. This is the last time I'm gonna mention it. All right? Some last ditch, last minute, save your life information. I could. I'm not a fool. They're tightening the leash. There you go, Untold Vendetta. They're tightening the leash. See, they know that these variants ain't gonna fly no more. We got mass natural immunity. We've got too many tools to fight it. You know, I got N-acetylcysteine in the back of my car right now. I take that regularly. I exercise. I meditate. My fortress is I'm making my fortress as impenetrable as possible, right? This temple that you're looking at. So now they got to try something different. I'm going to say this now since y'all, some of y'all don't remember or may not have been there. On top of these shortages, the next thing to come will be some type of attack on our infrastructure, some type of cyber attack. We are grossly underprepared, but we are being constantly warned about this happening. Now, I was saying this before the warning happened. How do we know this stuff? Because they got a playbook. They already got the playbook. They already got the playbook out. See, they believe in something called lesser magic. There's a lot of people I think that actually do. They're just scared to talk about it. You got to recognize it. You just got to pay attention. Don't be an NPC. Listen, they got a playbook. They've been talking about this. You remember Agenda 2030? That was supposed to happen in 2030. But, listen, yeah, I try to be. But, I'm going to tell y'all where I think things got turned up a little bit and they had to expedite. It's just well-placed fat. That's all it is. Read Shadow Man by Anthony Napoleon. Really, all his books. All right. I will. I screenshotted it. So, y'all got me off my focus for a second. Let me get back to what I was talking about. They got a playbook. They've been talking about this stuff for years. It's supposed to happen in 2030, but I'm gonna tell you why things got turned up, or where I see it. I think things got turned up. Have you ever heard of the old adage, or the old story? Like, I guess it's more of a saying. How do you boil a frog, or how do you cook a frog? You can't put a frog into boiling water; it'll just jump out. You can't put a frog in cold water or lukewarm water. He might jump out, but he most likely will just sit there and you won't have a cooked frog. The only way that you can cook a frog is by gradually turning up the heat, increment by increment, increment by increment. That's what we're seeing right now. But I think what happened is the frogs started to understand and started to notice that they were being boiled. You see, whether you like them, love them, I hate them, and I'm still not convinced that he wasn't used to accelerate their plan. I'm still not convinced that he wasn't used in some form or fashion as an asset. But whether you like them, love them, hate them, or not, the last administration opened up everybody to the dirty, disgusting cesspool underbelly of what is really controlling this country. Did y'all know that on that poor frog, tough enough to have two pet frogs? Yeah. So here's where I say I don't trust many, if any, politicians, but you got to kind of peep what politicians do. At one point, Trump was talking against snake bites. Man, it ain't even just communist, bro. It's just pure evil. You can call it whatever you want to, evil, communist, whatever. It's evil. So at one point he was talking against it and saying you have your choice. The next point he's talking about Operation Warp Speed and everybody, you know what I mean? Like I don't know that I can't trust somebody like that, right? Maybe he was playing a game. But the point of the matter is a lot of people woke up. And if they didn't wake up, a lot of people got exposed to just how nasty things are. We had a period of awakening for a lot of people. Excuse me. We had a period of awakening for a lot of people. And I think too many people in mass started to wake up. So they realized, hey, we can't wait 14, 12, 10 years to do this thing. We gotta expedite Agenda 2030 so that maybe by 2030 we'll have full control. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever you have to operate on the reactive and not on the responsive, you've already lost. You see, I'm going to say the powers that think they be, they've had to react and change course based off of our response. Maybe that was his goal, to expose us to what's really going on, to kind of change the trajectory of where we're headed. Maybe. But the truth of the matter is, too many people are waking up. And y'all look at this chat alone. Like, I know y'all know at least 2 or 3 other people that probably know 2 or 3 other people that know the same stuff we talk about in these lives. Yes, I did. And guess what they're getting? They giving these illegals baby formula. Did y'all know that? But we got a shortage. We've had a large influx of illegal immigrants. Now, you could talk about the philosophical, you do all that stuff. We could talk about the implications of how we took this place up, da 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 da. But they're giving these folks formula. But we got a formula shortage. Make that make sense. Literal invasion, facts. But they helping these people out to the tune of millions of free dollars and baby formula. And we still got to pay taxes and go to work. Man, get out of here. They letting y'all know what they think of y'all. And if you voted, look, Roe v. Wade, let's just talk about that. That's another distraction. Bro, Roe v. Wade. Let's talk about it. Now, I'm not going to get deep into how I feel about it. At a baseline, I think government's position, facts. I think a government's position should be to stay the hell out of my business as long as I am not hurting anybody else. If I'm not physically harming anybody else, stay the hell out of my business. That's how I feel. So, with Roe v. Wade and this leak, we ain't, bro, yeah, they trying to. We ain't never had a Supreme Court leak, bro. Like, come on. Are y'all seeing what's happening in these times? This is no coincidence. A leak, a Supreme Court document leak, and y'all heard maybe one story talking about going after and investigating who did it. We still ain't seen the person that did this face should be on every news channel. This ain't a matter of opinion. This shouldn't even be a matter of politics. This is a matter of safety and a violation of the Constitution. This is a matter of national security. Never mind all the other stuff. They leaking opinions. They leaking documents from the Supreme Court. Do you know what happens when you don't show up? Do you know what happens when you don't show up to court? If you don't show up to a court hearing, that's your ass. But if you leak important high-level documents, you're good. Man, come on. Facts. Hillary did. And yeah, your comment on abortion not being good, it harms someone. You know, I know that there are circumstances where it's not an easy, it is not an easy topic or decision to have to make when you have to make them. I don't think taking somebody's life should ever be a decision somebody has to make, but I'm willing to see that there may be special circumstances. You know, up until full term, I just don't think that that's if you're taking this up until full term and then you're making a decision. I have a hard time being okay with that. But for mothers who are at risk, at health risk, it's a tough decision, and all I can say is I hope I never have to be a person in that room, and I hope that I'm spiritually in tune to make the correct decision. But as far as the government goes, yeah, as far as the government goes, I believe it's none of the government's business, and that goes to, like me, I like same-sex marriage and stuff like that does not affect me. I don't run around parading for gay rights, but I also don't think the government. Why is it more okay to do something little and not okay if the baby is 1 year old? Well, because at that point, in extenuating a special circumstance, you've gone all the way up to 9 months. You've gone all the way up to a year, and you've known, not government's business, yes. You've gone all the way up to a year. You spent all this time. You know you're pregnant at this point, and then all of a sudden, you want to make the decision when this child is on its way out. Pretty early on, you can tell if you're going to be at risk, whatever that risk is, or that child may be at risk. And for me, my thing is, you spent this time with child this entire time, and then you want to make the decision at the brink of birth. I feel like there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. But anyway, yeah, that's back to what I was saying. Even this topic is a distraction because that'll get us off on another tangent from talking about what we really came here to talk about. So they're trying to push. I don't even. They're trying to push like legitimate, like murder. So I digress. I don't buy into the men shouldn't be making decisions about women's bodies. Da 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 da. I don't really. I don't buy into that. That's an emotionalization of the topic. That's a deflection away from the sentiment of what's actually happening in these situations. I don't think by and large that men who were born by way of women even yeah, exactly. Emotional distractions. Like if I can get you, if I can talk about something that I immediately that tangibly to ties you to your physical, meaning your race or your sexual preference, anything that is like emotionally heightened. If I can make a topic out of that and emotionalize and sensationalize that, I can distract from any topic, period. I can distract from a movement. Whole movements have been stopped from and started by emotionalizing these topics that are tied to our physical nature instead of looking at each other as humans, you know? So, look, I'm about to go in here and build, put another block on the foundation of this temple right here. What y'all seeing? About to go build up. Y'all stay safe out there. Keep your eyes peeled. Excuse me. Go get a microgreens kit on high treason, on baby formula. About babies. And women should not be making decisions about babies' bodies. Hey, man, I saw a meme where there was a pregnant man and they said, so I guess men do have a decision on uh, women's bodies or something like that. It was like, it was some trans guy. Bro, I don't even know. Look, that's just too confusing. If it don't make sense, man, it probably don't make sense. I'm about to get into that. Like, people are so sensationalized about wanting to be accepted. You know, let me tell y'all this. You know the trans and the gay and the minorities or whatever that I respect the most? Man, I respect the people the most that don't give a damn about being accepted. You ain't here. You got one shot at this. Don't, why you worried about being accepted by strangers, bro? You want to get on, you want to get on TV and on social media. You want to act all extra with your tight shirt, pants, and your makeup on, and you want to be a girl so bad, or you want to be a man so bad, but yet you want to be a man as a female, but you want to be a female as a man, but you say that there's more than two genders, but yet you want to choose to be one of the opposite genders. Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. It's a madhouse. Man, and then let's talk about the kids real quick. I'm gonna get up off here. Do y'all know what's happening in these high schools, man? Like kids are asking questions to their peers and parroting what they see on the internet. Like I heard about one of my wife's clients said that their child was saying that because that child did not want to say that they were or were not gay, that the kids and their peers were saying that they were gay. So their reasoning was this child didn't want to say anything to offend anybody, so they said I don't know. And they had never really had, I mean, we're talking about middle school. They had never really had a sexual encounter. So because this child was undecided because they don't know anything about sexuality, their peers tried and convinced them that they're gay. It's crazy. It's crazy. God is the life decider. If God is the life decider, why are you talking to Q about it? Talk to God. I have no problem with the decision they made themselves, but social pressure can be huge. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's really affecting these kids, man. We're about to have a whole generation. TJB, end of story. End of story. Mentally, children are not equipped to even discuss these topics. How can we have them be equipped to make decisions like this? It's sad, and all I know is my daughter ain't going. I mean, there's no other way to slice it. I have sat my daughter right here in my lap in this vehicle and told her, hey, she's 2. She just turned 3. Told her to drive my car, right? If it wasn't for my guidance And if it wasn't for me redirecting her direction, she would have crashed and ended both of our lives. Now, that's a loose metaphor to say these kids have to be guided. You have to give kids enough space to be free in who they are and who they're becoming without being a helicopter parent, which is a delicate rope, a delicate tightrope to walk. But you don't want to overly influence everything about your children. Like with this whole Disney stuff, I'm gonna say this and be gone. This whole Disney stuff, a lot of my peers, I've seen a lot of people online say, we're canceling Disney Plus. We don't want that in our house. We heard about them doing that. Da, da, da. Well, guess what I'm doing? I'm teaching my daughter to identify when her thoughts are being manipulated. I'm teaching her how to identify, like, hey, did you see the way that he said what he said to him? He was not being very nice. He's trying to make him do X, Y, and Z. What do you think? Yeah, he was trying to make him do something bad, and he knows he's not supposed to do it. We don't do that. Like, I'm teaching her how to see some of those social cues, how to see some of that stuff, right? Because if I look at it, yeah. So why would I try to remove it from the house? Because if I don't equip her with the proper way of processing information, even at this age on a rudimentary level, if I don't equip her with questioning her beliefs or questioning her environment, then when she gets older, she's going to fall into being interested by all of the things I kept from her because I didn't expose her to it, right? Now, does this mean I need to let my child have drugs? Probably not. But does this mean take care of her? All right, TJB, good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm about to be out too anyway. So that's it. I'm not about to just shun her from the world. I'm equipping her to deal with it the way her father deals with it. And her mother and her granddaddy. Her granddaddy was an OG before he passed. Her granddaddy predicted all of this. Believe it or not, my father knew about all this stuff for years, sat on it. So, all right, man, that was enough talking. I'm about to get up off here. I hope we connected in some kind of a real way. In the future, y'all hit me up on Instagram if there's anything y'all want to talk about. If there's any videos y'all want to see, I've kind of transitioned away from YouTube and Instagram simply because I share my stories, but simply because I'm really focused on solutions right now, and solutions as far as financial solutions, as far as economic and health solutions. Like I'm not here to be liked on the internet. I'm not really here to make money off the internet. If I can, then I will. But I'm just letting y'all know that's where I've been at. So that's why the channel is just not a main focus. I really wanted it to be, but when I weigh my life and what's important right now in these times, my mentality, my family, and my finances and my health are like at the top of the food chain. So I hope y'all can understand that. But I'll make every effort to tune in here and rap with y'all. So let me go ahead and get it in. That heartbeat, man. Look at that heartbeat. My body ready to lift. Go ahead and get it in, man. I hope y'all stay blessed. Remember, man, these are just my opinions. This ain't got nothing to do with what you believe, all right? So it is what it is. I always appreciate you for being here. Maybe we can get into talking about stocks in one of the lives. And I can show y'all what I've been able to do in a short amount of time. I don't know, but we'll see. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all spiritually. That's a fact. Peace.